All right, this podcast is for CNT140. We're looking at our BidSpec again, and we're looking at adding the work area outlet equipment that we have on our BidSpec. Just to kind of get our brain oriented, I want to detail out here, content page, BidSpec. I'm into the work area outlets, and I'm opening up the notes page that's there for you. Again, just to kind of get our brain in gear on where we are. We did the site survey for our building. We selected the closets. We started the spreadsheet for estimating horizontal cabling. We added a tab to the spreadsheet for the cost sheet to tally all of our equipment that we're using. We added the horizontal cabling to the cost sheet, and then we started some maps of our plan. Now that we have in the lab pulled the horizontal cabling and terminated the outlets in our lab room, we're now going to add the outlet equipment necessary for the BidSpec. So we're looking at adding that work area outlet equipment. And as we kind of brainstormed in class, we need, for the work area where the user sits at their computer, we need an outlet box that's going to go on the wall, surface mount. We need some kind of faceplate for it. We're going to need outlet jacks to go into it. We're going to need a piece of Raceway that comes down the wall to protect the cabling, and then we're going to need some patch cables for the user. And I took some notes here to remind you of some of the other stuff we talked about. The box, the faceplate, and the jack all need to be the same brand. So if I'm using Panduit brand, they should all be Panduit. That way everything fits and snaps together. The other thing is, that helps with color. You know, if I pick Arctic White, I need to use Arctic White for all three so it looks nice. In addition, and then down here I remind you too that, you know, if I'm using Panduit, I should be using Panduit the whole way through with the same color. That way it all looks professional. In addition, with things like outlet jacks, if I'm using category 6 cabling in my building, my outlet jacks need to be category 6. I also have some reminders in here about how you want to divide up quantity. It's really up to you how you want to do it. You know, for each room, if you have 30 outlets in a room, if you want to do 5 outlet boxes of 6 outlet jacks, that's fine. It's really up to you how you want to do it. Just make sure your quantities agree and things fit together. So down here I also have some notes reminding you of doing all those, some things you want to think about so so you're not forgetting. But these are the things we talked about in class. If you keep scrolling down here, I have a sample of my spreadsheet. I'm going to show you mine here in just a minute. We'll build it. And that's pretty much it on the notes. We're just kind of adding that equipment to our cost sheet. So I'm going to go over to my cost sheet. I'm going to go to my Hack Google Apps. I'm going to open up my Google Drive. In here I'm going to open up my 140 folder, and I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet. And actually I have here's the one I'm building to for you. This is my version 2. So I'm going to open up this spreadsheet. Here's my cable estimation that we had done previously. And here's the cost sheet in this tab down here that I started with my horizontal cabling. So I'm now going to add the work area outlet stuff. I'm going to add, like we said, I need the outlet box. So I'm just going to put this here to remind me, outlet box. I need the some kind of faceplate for it. So let's just put it here just to kind of remind us we need it. We need the outlet jack. Oops, if I can type, outlet jack. Definitely if I can type. And then I'm going to need the wall mount Raceway, raw Raceway. Ooh. And then I will need my user patch cable. There we go. So now that I have kind of my brain oriented, I can now go start to look for my gear. On detail, I have links for different suppliers and different places that have prices for the equipment for you. I'm going to show you probably the best way to do this. When you're looking for this kind of equipment, it's usually best to go right to the manufacturer's site and get model numbers and take it to a supplier. So I'm going to go right to Panduit. Again, I'm picking on them because they're one of the leading suppliers of this kind of stuff, so I can usually find what I need right off the bat. I'm going to go into their products page, and I'm going to go to the copper systems because we're looking for copper components. We're going to look at the copper systems. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to start with the faceplates and boxes here because that's the easiest way to start this. And in here it gives me some faceplates, and I actually get surface mount boxes. And they actually have some pretty low profile jobs that are 2-port, 3-port, 4-port, 6-port, so forth. I'm going to pick on this guy down here, Netkey Surface Mount Box, and they actually give you a couple options, 2-port, 4-port, so forth down the line. I'm just going to start right off the bat picking Arctic White up here, 2-port Netkey module. This would be good for offices and classrooms. So I'm going to grab this model number right here, and I'm going to take it to a supplier. And one of the suppliers we can use is Cable Organizer. Again, I'm picking on them because they usually have it. I order some supplies for our lab from here. We're not trying to shop around for the best price. We're just trying to use a place that probably has it. I can usually take a model number of my Panduit product, paste it right in here. Actually, let me grab this model number again. Here we go. We'll grab that model number, paste it over here. There we go. And I should usually come up with a product, and there it is, Netkey 2-position surface mount box. What I'll do is I'll grab that description. I'm going to put it right on my spreadsheet here. And I'm going to start off with saying Panduit. That way I know I'm keeping my brand the same. And I already have word wrap, so I'm good there. I'll put the model number next. So I'll grab this model number, put this in my spreadsheet for the next line here. And then I would need to get to quantity. Well, if you remember, when we started doing this, we have the number of cable drops. I can start looking at my spreadsheet to find out how many cable drops I have in my building. And this will give me some help to figure that out. I can actually let's do this right here. We're going to move that right over there. And I can do, there we go. I'll put a grand total down here of cable drops. I will need that eventually, but this will start giving me some numbers for things like patch cables and outlet jacks. I'll put a sum here of this column. Boom. And that'll tell me how many cable drops that I have in my building. So that's going to start to give me an idea of how many, outlet jacks and those kinds of things I need. So coming back over here, I start figuring out my quantity. I'm just going to use that example for now. Let's just say I needed 27. I'll put my unit cost here, $2.44 it looks like, so $2.44. And then I'll put my source out here. Obviously your numbers will be larger, but if we at least get the basics in here, we can always add to that as we go. There's my outlet box. That's a starting point. Now I come back, do faceplate, outlet jack, so forth. Now, one of the things we notice with this is this is all together in one unit. So I do not actually need on this guy a faceplate. So I can actually delete that whole line, which is pretty awesome. Actually, I think I'm just going to delete that whole row while we're right here. We're going to do delete row. There we go. I'm going to move on to outlet jack and Raceway. So back here under the Panduit page, I'll back up a little bit and go out to where they have the outlet jacks. It should be, we'll go back one more, and here should be connectors, outlet jacks, and I'm going to look for probably under jack modules will be the kind we need. We're looking for, yeah, here we go. Here's the category 6 UTP, and in here, these will probably even start saying Netkey and so forth. Here would be, this is International White. Here's a pack of 24. So this might be a better way to go. So here's my category 6. Here's one individual jack. Here's a pack of 24. So if I grab that model, come over here and plug it in, let's see if they carry that. Oh, come on. Let's try that again. Let's grab that model number again. There we go. And actually they do. They sell this outlet jack category 6 in a package of 24. That'll be bulk. That's a little bit easier to buy. And there it is. It is a Minicom jack. And that's $294 for that bulk of them. But hey, that'll get the job done. So here's my Minicom category 6 UTP outlet jack, quantity of 24. I'll just grab the whole description there. Panduit, Minicom, Arctic White, la la la. Okay, I'll grab my model number here. And this model number is indicating it is a package of 24. Plug her in there. and eventually I will know how many I need, but maybe I'll just put down like 4 for now. And we're finding out that he is $294. $294. And then I'll put my source in there. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to proceed through this way to get all the pieces for our plan. There's my box, there's my outlet jack. The only last thing I really need here that's kind of tricky is my Raceway. So I'll jump back over here, and if I go to the, up here, should be under products, I can go to, under their products, there should be an option for cable routing. There you go, cable routing pathways. And they should actually have Surface Raceway. There it is. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we'll go to the Surface Raceway single channel. We don't need power rated. We can do low voltage because it's just data. And single channel is enough for a couple. Medium or large would get the job done. If I do LD5 medium, that should work. And what I'm going to do, just to save my little bit of sanity here, I'm going to go right over to Cable Organizer and search for Panduit LD5. That is that low voltage surface mount raceway, and there it is. There's a single piece channel. Low voltage, one piece, single channel raceway. And I think as we look at this guy, it's actually a package that has in quite a few feet. So we'll need to look at their description. 8 and 10 foot lengths. Here we go. This actually comes 8 foot lengths, 160 feet. So there's actually 20 pieces in here. This would actually be a pretty good unit to order. So I will put this on here. This is my low voltage raceway for my work area outlet. So Panduit LD5 low voltage, one piece, single channel. I'm actually getting 160 feet in this package, or 20 pieces, because they're each 8 foot lengths. And that reminds me that there's 20 pieces in here to do this. And then here is my model number, and that is $456, not cheap. And again, I would figure out the quantity as we go, as I start figuring out what am I doing for my rooms. But I have at least my equipment. I can adjust the quantities as I start counting up my rooms. Only last thing is my patch cable, and I can just go in the Cable Organizer in here, go over to the cables area. In here I should have, actually network cables, there we go, and I should have an option here for bulk or patch cables or something. There's bulk cabling, but we'll just go with category 6 here, and hopefully we get a quick option for patch cables or something. And I'm just looking for, I'm not looking for 100 feet, I'm actually looking for a couple foot patch cable. There you go. There's a 10 foot category 6 UTP crossover. I keep going. There's my category 6 snagless patch cable. There you go. Something like that would work for the user area. That's what I need for my work area outlet equipment for my BidSpec. Just make sure you include, the box, the jack, the Raceway patch cable, and then start referencing your estimation for your quantities to know exactly what quantities you need to order here. There's your BidSpec work area outlet equipment.